Hello and selamat datang. Welcome to today's video where we're going to show you how to make super easy, or well, relatively super easy. I wouldn't call it super fast, but just to give you some context, I've got my dal finishing up, and I spend more time on my dal than on my roti canai, which I can tell from experience and from seeing how it's made never happened before. So yeah, this is a relatively easy recipe and way to make roti canai, and we're just going to jump straight to it. So without much ado, let's get to it. So let's get started. I've got mushrooms that I've been frying. The color, as you can see. So I'm going to go prepare the dal. Well, sauce I wouldn't call it, but the dal base. I have chickpeas that I've been soaking overnight. This was from dried, so it's just directly there. So, and I have a bunch of what's this, red dal. I use red dal generally because it's faster to cook, and it's a very fast free ingredient. So we're just going to put the whole thing in there and then let it boil, and then I'm going to try and separate the mushrooms out so I can then just grind and blend out the chickpeas and the dal. I'm not sure about you guys, but my family generally prefers the dal to be finely meshed. So I'm going to blend out the dal piece, so that will also, together with the chickpea, will thicken the dal mixture. I'm going to make a very simple thing, so that's more or less it. Maybe put some spinach at the end. So I'm just going to do this. So let's come back to it. In the meantime, I'm letting my dough rest. I'll show you in a short while what we're using. So before I forget, I've got a bay leaf in there already that I'm using to season. I'm putting garam masala in. I'm going to put some curry powder just as well, just to give it some seasoning. And then I guess I'm going to use some turmeric as well. Oops. Yep. So just a bit of this and that. And then the rest is just flavoring. So I'm just going to put Maggi sauce, salt, pepper. But first, before we do that, I'll do that at the end, because I'm just going to go blend. I'm taking out the mushroom, and then I'm going to blend the chickpea and the linsen together so it becomes fine, and it should then thicken at that time. Then we'll add this because I'm going to use the same pan to cook the roti. So yeah, I'm just going to. That's why the gravy is very. There's not much water now so far, but we'll come back to this. So yeah, that's cooked, and I've been blending it. So I'm trying to leave some whole pieces there, so I'm not completely blending it fine. But yeah, I'm going with this, and then we'll just leave this alone, and I'll then add in more water at the end. So yeah, let's get to the next part. So the first dough that I'm testing, but I'm quite confident about this, is also called Pfannkuchen teig, or it's like a type of pizza dough, but not really pizza dough. It's a thinner type of pizza. So we're just going to cut it. Yeah, I don't have a dough cutter, so I'm just reusing my spatula thing. So don't mind that. I'm just going to cut it up, and then we're going to try and fold it out. So what we're going to do to make the layers is we're just going to roll it out and roll it like that. Actually, I could have made a smaller one, yeah, because it's quite long, so I could easily go, yeah, as you can see, we will end up quite big, so I can easily go with half of this. Yeah, I think it's about half. Okay, so I'm just going to go half of that, and then I'm going to roll it out. And that's more or less your flatbread. I mean, your flatbread dough. I mean, I'll be curious to see how big it will get. So maybe we will see that in a short while, how big it'll get. But yeah, if you do it like this, that should get you enough layers to roll it up. So I'm just going to do this. You'll notice that I'm not using any oil. Yeah, because I'm always a bit lazy to oil up my hands. Yep, so that's the reason for that. So I'm just going to roll a smaller one this time. And basically I'm just going to roll out a bunch, and then let's see how big we can roll this out to be. And that will determine how much dough we get to use. So I'm done with the flammkuchen dough ones, and I'm starting out with the puff pastry ones. And must say there is a bit of difference. The puff pastry one, as you can probably see, rolls a bit easier, and it may not stretch out as much as the pizza dough one, but it rolls much easier, I must say. So I'm just going to finish this up, and then I think we're more or less ready to start frying. And as you can see, it's not difficult. I find it really interesting. I mean, if you consider why I never in the past liked to make my own roti canai dough, because it was always messy and I'm lazy to get all this kind of dough stuff. This really does take away all that kind of effort. And more important than that, I don't have to oil my countertop and clean up the mess with that oil. So let's see if this the result turns out as expected. But I must say, looking from the dough perspective, I'm already quite impressed. So, but yes, as they always say, proof of the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So I need to find a roller for the dough now so I can get ready. But I'm going to start getting ready everything else to start frying the roti. So I've got my first dough, and it's stretched out as thin as I could do it. Yeah, the shape is a bit uneven, but yeah, that's not really a concern. I've got oil that I've been heating up, so I'm going to cook it up while I quickly roll the next one, and hope I get similar texture or similar size. I'm curious that this pizza dough ones doesn't stretch out as much as I thought as it could, so I'm a bit annoyed there, but it's okay. I'm moving on to the next one now. I'm just going to stretch it out. I find that starting off with the rolling and then stretching it manually kind of gives a better, if you like, result. But yeah, I'm just going to roll it out and stretch it out. And I must say, I mean, yeah, I'm not dirtying anything. It's not the easiest effort to do as well. Maybe like a roti press could simplify this a bit more, but I don't think that this is probably the easiest thing to do anyway. But okay, I've got my roti cooking. Yeah, it's okay. The bottom's browning, it's fine. It's going to give me some time to get the next one ready. So yeah, just consider that the sizes are not going to be very big comparatively to the size of the pizza dough, which is a bit surprising. But I think I have a bit more hope for the puff pastry. I think the puff pastry will probably be able to stretch out a bit more. Maybe less so for the pizza dough ones. And if you're wondering why I'm using this container as a rolling pin, yeah, you guessed it, I don't have a rolling pin. So yeah, what do you guys normally use to substitute if you don't have a rolling pin? Sorry for my voice, it's a bit coarse as well. So I'm just going to make some space for this one, and then I'm going to start cooking this second one. So yeah, I'm going to stretch it out and do it for the rest of this dough, and we'll see what we come up with. So halfway checkpoint or whatever you call it. These are some of the results. This is again from the pizza or the flammkuchen type of dough. I must say it's quite good. It reminds me of more flatbread dough or like a naan, but I think it will pass. I've just put in the first puff pastry, and initial thoughts, honestly, I thought the puff pastry would be able to extend and expand better, but as you can see from the holes, somehow that's not the case. Somehow the puff pastry turned out to be a bit more fragile than I thought it would be, so that, I don't know, it's interesting. I thought the pizza dough one would be a bit more fragile. It turned out to be the more elastic of the two, so something to consider, but let's see how this goes. So let's break down the conclusion. I've got it side by side here so you can easily see the differences. Well, I've got one more cooking, so it's on the way. Yep, it's done. Okay, so I think you can clearly see, if you're looking for a flat bread, then the pizza dough works totally fine. You're looking more for like a puff. If you consider what roti canai is this layers of puffiness, yeah, then I would say this oops, I burned that a bit. the puff pastry works super fine. I mean, super well. It's a bit hard to stretch out super thin, but if you have a roller or proper roller, then that will work fine. So I would recommend just looking on visually that the puff pastry might work much better. So, but yes, that's the conclusion that we have. So all in all, I would say you won't go wrong. But yes, puff pastry does make a good roti canai replacement, and super easy. As you can see, I didn't have to oil anything. It was easy to do. It's easy to cook. In fact, I reduced the amount of oil that I needed to use. So that can only be a plus point. So, but yeah, roti canai works with puff pastry. So you don't really need to buy the frozen ones anymore. Just fresh puff pastry. That will work. And I've got my dhal that I'll thicken it later, and I'll show you maybe at the intro. So all in all, I would say successful one for me. Selamat makan and jemput makan, and see you in the next video. As always, like, subscribe and comment. See you. Bye.